Hey guys, welcome back to Skylanders Ring of Heroes. Now this is going to be my B9 3-star video, and before we get into it, just a quick disclaimer, it's not going to be the sort of team you just have the units and then you can do it. It does take time if you don't have the runes to actually get the 3-star run, and at the moment the team isn't reliable on full auto runs, but I've got a lot of room. Like, my runes are fairly bad, so I've got a lot of upgrades I need to do on the runes, so I'm going to farm B8 for a while. But this is just showing you how to get how I got the 3-star, and the handy thing about the 3-star is, as I start testing more reliable teams, at least I can just put it on the faster speed to test my teams as I go. But without any further, we'll jump into the team. So the team is Boomer, Stealth Elf, and the Whirlwind. Now, Whirlwind is one I never really considered for B9 because of the elemental disadvantage, but I got some decent tanky stats on her, and she actually works really well in it. We'll get into that a bit. We'll go through the stats on them all. The Boomer, I obviously did my video yesterday. He's on a strike broken set, attack percent, defense, attack percent, using skill 1 and 2 in these runs. He's just a really solid unit. Still amazing after the nerf. Doesn't matter. He still does super damage. The second unit is Stealth Elf. Now, I tried to run with just Boomer and Whirlwind, and it was about 3 minutes and 12 seconds. And what I found is, to get the 3-star, putting a Stealth Elf in, even just using Stealth and the second skill to ensure that that second skill does crit more often, is really handy. So that's what she's in there for, just to use Stealth and the second skill, get the crit, proc the AoE, speed up the waves, and also do good damage on the boss. And that second skill with the attacker from the Boomer is really nice too. So that's her stats. She is on the crit rate, crit damage build. So you can see she's got the crit rate, defense percent, which is absolutely rubbish on her. The only reason this rune is on her is for the attack and crit rate. It's like half as good as a flat defense rune. It's really bad. Do not do this unless you're like me and really going for the substats. And then obviously I've got the crit damage on this one. And the crit damage is still the only 6-star rune that I do have on her at the moment. So she's still on a 4-star. She's really squishy. If the boss uses the blow attack on her, she does die. So I did a fair few runs where I was getting under the 3 minutes, but Stealth Elf just kept dying. And then the last unit is the Whirlwind. Now, Whirlwind is one that I know a lot of people don't want to build, and that's fine. You can perfectly do this with Wham Shell, and I'm thinking for full auto runs I might still have to build the Wham Shell to replace with the Whirlwind, just because Whirlwind on full auto with the AI is not great and just refuses to use her charge skill sometimes, and you really need that charge skill. Although I do have room for improvement, so I'm going to test. I'm going to farm some more B8, get some better runes, and if she can tank it out with some better runes, then it might be an option for me. But like I said, Wham Shell is still a perfect option to sit in this spot. So obviously my Whirlwind is max skilled on that 3rd skill, so I have used the skill ups. But and I also did use my spare my spare shards that I had from her from Wish Stones to power her up, and then farmed I think at about another 40 or so just to get her to that +4, and left her there just for those extra tanky stats to help her survive. Now, this is the big one for me still on Whirlwind, is I'm not going to awaken her, even though it gives her a real nice stat boost, especially in the HP. I don't want to do that purely because it makes her heal become damage, which contributes to the boss's revenge counter, and I feel like that's going to make the runs less reliable, even though she does get the tanky stats. Mainly because my Boomer and Stealth Elf are so squishy as well. If they get tanked up and they could survive a revenge from the boss, it might be worth it to do that. But as it is at the moment, she's just staying unawakened, and she's doing pretty well like that. The runes, now I did change some runes around, or one rune around. So she used to be on attack, defense, attack. So that one's still attack, only 5-star. If I could get a 6-star there, it would be fantastic. But so she's on the attack, broken sets as well, because I wanted to get as many 6-star runes on her for these tanky stats as I could, and I actually swapped out this slot 6 rune, which used to be an attack rune, for a HP rune, just to give it more tankiness. But I did lose some effectiveness from the heal. However, the amazing thing about Boomer giving your team attack buff is that the attack buff sort of negates that lost attack from this, and my Whirlwind still heals almost 1,000 per tick when she applies the regenerate with attack buff. Which is really nice. So it becomes 5,000 healing over the duration of the heal, which is really good. And I've also managed to get her this extra tankiness. So She's obviously still got room for improvement. I'd really like to 6-star these 2 runes, get them as a 6-star, and then obviously plus 15 this one for that extra bit of health. And then that's where she'll be at. Obviously, I'd like to keep... I'd really like to put energy sets on her. She does have a low attack, so she doesn't get the mileage out of a strike set. A strike set's still nice to increase her damage and her healing. But for me, because her HP is in a higher sort of range, I think her HP is just below wanting percent. But if I power up to +5, she'll benefit more from percent. So it's just sort of more value out of the stats. And because in this stage she does have elemental disadvantage, tanky stats are really important for her. So she's a real balanced unit that you got to choose between. But like I said, you can replace her with a Wham Shell if you have him. Still a fantastic unit, and he'll get the job done. But you'll definitely need a good broccoli guy if you're going the Wham Shell route, because you won't have the heals. And I'm still working on my broccoli guy. Obviously, if you can get the skill ups into the HP regen for 2 turns, that's really nice. I'm just a few stones short. And then obviously max level +5. Any upgrades you do to broccoli guy will help in that run, especially if you don't have a healer in your team. So with all of that, I think we might jump into a run. I'll try and do it on manual. Keep in mind, to get the 3-star, it did take me a lot of attempts. And like I said, it's not reliable on auto yet. So I'll probably get a fail here, but it's really nice just to have that 3-star in there so that when I do test teams, I can put them in on a fast run and then find out if it works. But I'm definitely going to be farming B8 for about probably another 2 or 3 days to get some rune upgrades, and then hopefully test B9 again. And if I do get better runes and it still doesn't work, then I'll probably just go in and farm the Wham Shell to try and make the runs more reliable. But let's jump in. We'll put the Whirlwind in there. Change this skill over to Stealth for Stealth Elf, and then we should be good to go. So we won't put it on 10 times, and I'll show you the general strat. It's the same as normally when you're trying to 3-star runs, but what we're going to do is we're going to target the big guy in the middle, use Boomer's 2 skills and charge up Whirlwind, then straight into Stealth and second skill of Stealth Elf. And we really just want to kill this big guy. And sometimes he can do a crit there and one-shot the Whirlwind, almost, but luckily we got away with that one. We'll go into there. And now, as you can see, the Whirlwind heal starts ticking over. Oh, I've got it on auto. Let's take it off that. And then the broccoli guy really does help with those extra heals, just to keep the Whirlwind up in this early stage of the game. And then we should crit there and get the kill. We didn't get the kill, so we'll just use the Whirlwind attack to finish it off. Nope, we'll use the Boomer attack. Okay, so this is a bad run. Normally you want to be at about 40 to 45 seconds around here. So into this one, we'll use the broccoli guy here. We'll charge that up. We'll stealth that. We'll attack buff, and then we'll use the AoE. I feel like this is going to be a really bad run, but we'll see what happens. And then we'll go into the heal with the cleanse. If this guy does his defense... Okay, that's a wipe. You can see why I need more tankiness and more damage. But we'll do one more run. We'll do one more run and test it. Because that was horrible. That first wave just did not go to plan as it normally does. So let's jump in. No, we'll take off the auto. Cancel. How do we get this off? Let's go back and let's go back in. And start. Okay. So the main strat, like I said, hit the big guy. We got to kill this big guy. So bombs, and then we'll charge up, and then we'll use stealth straight into skill 2. And hopefully, okay, the big guy's not attacking, so hopefully we can kill him with a crit from Stealth Elf, and then we should be pretty solid. When he attacks first and uses that Life Slash, it really does hurt the runs. So we'll go into that. All the bombs are on, so we do the bombs, do another AoE, and then go straight into, oops, I misclicked there, but it was supposed to be straight into Stealth Elf skill. Probably slowed down the run a little bit there, but the 40 seconds is looking like a pretty good run. And then we just finish it off with the charge so that my other skills are off cooldown in this wave. And then we'll go straight into it again, charge up that skill, get the broccoli guy heal rolling, stealth, and then skill 2 for the stealth elf because we really want to crit. And then we'll hit this big guy. Hopefully he did his cry. It's going to slow the run down but make it safer, which is fine. And then we'll just do the attack buff into the bombs again. We'll spam the broccoli guy heal now. Try and get that heal onto the whirlwind so that she can survive. And then spam some more damage, and hopefully the Whirlwind survives here, and then we'll be good on the boss if we can get these kills right now. Okay, so we might be good if we can get this Whirlwind heal up early. So what we're going to do is we're going to stealth, we're going to do the attack buff, the bomb, into Stealth Elf skill, into the cleanse. Hopefully we can cleanse. Okay, we got the timing there. So we're going to get the cleanse straight before, but I think my Whirlwind's health might be a little bit low. So we got the cleanse. If he uses... Okay, like I said, if he uses the blow on Stealth Elf just dies. So obviously not going to be a 3-star run. The time's still looking nice, but the Stealth Elf crits really do help with it. We'll see how we go though. We might still actually be able to clear it in 3 minutes, but that is the general strat. So now we're going to look at doing these bombs. The blow's going to really hurt there, but as you can see, the tankiness on the Whirlwind is really nice, surviving those 2 hits in a row. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this into a charge, but target the crystal, just so I can get that extra heal, and then go back onto the boss, charge up. And this is actually looking decently good if we can land these 2 hits and survive the revenge. Oh, we didn't need it. As you can see, it wasn't the time. Sorry for if that was bad commentary. I was trying to commentate as we were going, but you can see I managed to clear it. We lost the Stealth Elf, slowed the run down a bit. But yeah, the Whirlwind is fairly tanky and not too bad at that role. But in the waves, if you don't kill the big guy, it really hurts. And like I said, on full auto, the Whirlwind is really, really bad AI. Does not like using the charge skill at all. So like I said, it might not be the most reliable team on auto, so I'm probably going to have to still farm the Wham Shell. But that is the way I managed to get the 3-star on the B9 with these 3 units. I was really wrapped that the Whirlwind was able to do it for me. However, I don't know whether I'm torn whether I want to awaken her just to test like that, but the revenge counter is going to be the big problem there. So that's it for this video, guys. That was my strategy. Like I said, feel free to use the Wham Shell and the Broccoli guy in the team. Just the Wham Shell and Boomer will probably be reliable on auto runs with the right runes. So that's what I'd still be leaning towards, is that, especially if you don't have a Whirlwind built. If you have a Whirlwind already built, test her out. It can be an option. But thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.